Ken, I see you have Mr. Davidson with you as well. Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time, and I see you have a short one, so you must not want one.
I have a very short one. As you know, I'm the Director of Revenue. What we do basically, the short version is we take in every penny the city gets. We get 200 million comes to our department. We also do the administration as far as processing that. We do the enforcement, and we also have an auditing component also. In our budget is $448,800. Of that amount, $388,000 of that comes through commissions we have to pay. Basically straight up for the collection of the property tax and also the casual sales tax and the top taxes like that the counties collect for us, we have to pay a percentage to. So out of the $448,000, $338,300 are the fees. Of that amount, of the subtotal of $60,500, we also issue licenses. We send out over 2,000 licenses a year. We process them. We remail out the licenses, and that comes to around $26,000. That leaves us with $34,000 to operate on. We use that for travel, training, copier paper, anything that goes on to the city. So basically, we operate on a budget of $34,000. Okay. The only request we have this year is for an upgrade for an individual. We're in a situation to where I'm the only supervisor down there. That means that over the administration, over the enforcement, over the auditing, and anything else in between. A situation has occurred as far as if I'm gone, we have no direct line supervisor. If I'm out on medical leave, we have no direct line supervisor. And if some type of information is needed by upper level management, I don't really have a go-to person to monitor that. So that is the only really, other than our regular budget, that we're asking that we upgrade one person to put it in there. And that way we'll have a situation to where we'll have a direct line supervisor in case that I'm out. Whereas we do not now.
How much is that upgrade?
That upgrade would probably be around maybe $6,000 at the most. It's only a one position up above what they are. That way that person can supervise. That person will supervise the auditors and also the revenue enforcement component, and indirectly everyone else. And when I'm not there, of course, we'd be in charge of the department. We've been operating this way for about 5 or 6 or 7 years. We actually had a court case where I also do the administrative law judge situation, to where a person comes in under state law, they have a right to contest, and there's a person that's supposed to be on bias actually that looks at it. I also serve in that capacity. It was challenged in court. We were very lucky that the judge said that's okay, but it was like a notice. In other words, you guys need to correct this to have somebody a level below.
Mr. Lopez, you said he brought in $200 million a year?
No, I said if we had $200 million, that would come from us.
I was wondering, because Dr. Lopez was only spending 111.
He got me.
Yeah, there you go. So it was maybe a poor example, but
Explain that cruise to Hawaii.
Yeah, to expand a little bit on that, we have over 224 actual revenue that we receive, that we get from it. And we are responsible for all that also, and making sure that all is correct.
Is there still a rule of thumb for every auditor you have, you can bring an additional $1 million worth of revenue through audits?
We have not reached $1 million, but we've been pretty close. Our position has been the audit function is only to enforce the law and the ordinances the council levy, not to go out and try to intentionally turn a business into something that it should not be, that maybe they're doing wrong. We look at it as more like a community licensing versus going out and just saying, hey, you don't know, we made a great effort of trying to catch it on the front end and to expand that whatsoever. We've changed the personnel around. We expect to this year make it a little bit easier. Also, we are total electronic. You can pay your licenses online. You can pay, if you apply for a license in New York, we now can take that application to the internet, and we also can have them pay for the internet. So we have some components that we work with MIS and Melinda's group on in order to do that. So we're moving more in that area, and it is beneficial to the city. No longer is it knocking on the door. We have better ways of doing things.
How many business licenses are issued in Hoover?
Every year we run anywhere from 9,800 to 10,000. You know, that's not an indication of how many businesses we have in the city of Hoover. That's how many businesses conduct in Hoover. Someone like Walmart can very well have 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 licenses. So that's in that total too. We run around 3,400 to 3,500 a month in sales tax reporters. And when you look at that, that's actually 36,000 transactions that we have on top of the 10,000 because they filed 12 months out.
Mr. Lopez, just in my first term here, I recall 3 ordinances that we passed, one for solicitors,
That's all.
one for transportation network companies, and the other for
Food trucks.
Food trucks.
Yes.
So you can be commended for doing more with the same. I know we do our
Thank you very much.
ordinance work, have levied more work on your staff, and you're doing more with the same, so thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? Okay. Thank you very, very
Got
much.
good people.
Pardon me?
You got good people.
I do. I'm very, very lucky.
I was fortunate to be audited
What?
with one company I got up the street and very professional.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. I will be very brief because my department is very small, especially in relationship to the overall budget of the city. For 2017, we are only asking for about $240,000 worth of city funding. 46% of that is to pay for the audit and associated consulting that is required to meet GASB standards for the audit. So, and then another 28%, we're asking for software and supplies to implement an electronic payroll timesheet system to kind of get us into the 21st century. It's something that we've had on the books for quite some time, and for various reasons, we haven't been able to get it done, but we really want to get it accomplished this year, and that's only about $67,000 worth of software and supplies. So we really think it's something that would be beneficial to everybody and very cost effective for the city. When you take into account more accurate reporting, statistics, and of course some of them are all generated by the software companies, but statistically they say that when you implement a system like this, you'll save more than the cost of the software in lost wages and overtime, et cetera, because you have a more accurate reporting system as people are required to log in and everything's time stamped as soon as they log in, and so it's a better way to keep records.
So what are you doing now?
Paper. Yes. We're still in the dark ages. Approximately 800 times sheets keep months here.
I guarantee you it's gonna say that.
So we're really asking for your help on that. That's the only real change in our budget. Other than that increase, we're basically 100% flat over what we've had over the last 3 years. So that is the only significant change, and we really think it's a positive. And I know Melinda's people will do a great job of getting it implemented.
What was the second item along with the timekeeping?
Well, that's the only increase.
That was the only increase.
The audit function,
Oh, yeah.
46% of that $240,000.
The audit, is that what I would call a touch audit? Because I don't know how long it's been since an audit has been done where every single vehicle is accounted for and.
No, that will be done internally. Our external auditors wouldn't really address that.
Okay.
Other than if something shows up in their internal controls, if they think there's a problem, they might bring that up. But as far as, them looking at the inventory of vehicles, they do, but, you know, they're doing statistical approaches to things like that. So you're not really getting a touch on every vehicle. I think risk management, may give us the best inventory of our vehicles because they try to make sure that everything is on our insurance. So,
I just remember a time when a city employee loaned the city attorney a police light bar. And, didn't know if we're making sure we're accounting for all those things, make sure they're where they're supposed to be.
Not the current city attorney.
Not,
Probably not a current city employee.
no.
And Mr. Smith, we have had conversations about working with our purchase director and risk management to execute an internal property audit, which I think you're dealing with fiscal audit, and we're talking more about an internal property audit.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
and that's really the extent of our budget, as far as the expenses. You know, that really encompasses, accounts payable, payroll, what have you, so it's pretty small.
Shane, did you say this will be the first increase in 3 years that you've asked for?
Significant increase, yes.
Average it out, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll try to be, conservative. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yeager. If there are no other questions from the committee, we will recess until noon.
Mr. Chairman, lunch will be available on the second floor in the new conference room off of the lobby. It'll be available at 11:30, so you have a few minutes. And one point of information to the question about the police increase, if these buttons are working right, and you can trust my math, we're at approximately 1.2 million was the total.
1.2.
Yes, sir.
The first time. Okay, thank you.
Dr. Oakman,
Yes?
can you verify where some of these would come from in the budget, what the police is asking for?
Sure, I have a copy of that.
That's great. Like positions I know would come out of personnel. The cars and stuff will come out of capital. Stuff like the uninterrupted UPS system.
They have it under building services, we actually moved that to IT because it is an IT function. So it would be, what's the cost of it there?
27.
So that would actually probably be, it's gonna be in the 117, it's gonna be capital. It'll be capital, once it's over $10,000, it's the capital threshold.